Hey, good morning and savvy sisterhood world. Hey, hey, hey. I'm Alena Chapman and founder of Savvy Sisterhood. And today I'm bringing you a wonderful interview for our Tuesday interviews with Sally Saint. Okay, I'm going to read the Bible. Oh my gosh, it is morning. I am going to read her bio. Oh, that's funny. And just let you know a little bit about her because she's pretty impressive. Sally Saint is a therapist, a healer, energy worker from the UK. Hi, Sally. I'm going to bring you on, okay? But I'm going to read this really quick. She has had over 16 years of experience working with the energy to facilitate healing for her clients all around the world. And she's a trained Reiki, I know you are here, Reiki practitioner, reflexologist, and massage therapist. And she also has a natural ability to read the energy. I do too, I love this. And of another person, okay? But what she's done is she's not just a Reiki therapist. When she had her own child, it began her on this whole journey for children and teaching parents to heal so that they could be better parents and also helping the children. I mean, it's a wonderful mission. She wants to be the voice of the generation of children. So with that, I mean, this is an interesting perspective because we're always talking about how to better ourselves so that we can be better for others. Well, she's talking about how can we be better parents while bettering ourselves? Why are we bettering ourselves to be better parents? And how to apply the two to help our kids. So with that, I am going to bring on this really special person. On top of that, she has a beautiful, beautiful heart. Hold on, let me see if I can press the right one. Yes, yes, yes. Hold on. So anyway, I love this. Okay, here we go. We should be able to get her on. I love doing these interviews because, okay, Sally, you should get something. Hello, Kristen. Sally, you should be getting something to be able to get on now. Let's hope. Every time I do this, I always say, oh, I hope. But something should flash up on your screen or in your notifications, but you should be able to get on. All right. So anyway, this conscious parenting, it is funny because as I started to become happier in my life, I did the tools to find my own happiness inside. And I did that with my kids too. And the calmness, I have to tell you, this conscious parenting really works because when you do it, your kids are yeah, I know you want to be in the video. So where are you? Oh, there. Okay, she's adding. My kids are calm. There's little drama. You know what they want. Hey, here she is. Hey,
Good
Sally.
morning.
Hey, okay, I don't know if this will let me turn it. Let's try it and then get you on. Rotate your phone. You can't turn your phone while recording. Okay, I cannot do what you're doing. So turn your phone. Can you? There. Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. How
Hi.
are you, dear? Oh my
Hello.
gosh. Hey. Oh, this is
Morning.
fabulous. All right, I have just told them all about you. All right. So let's talk about what got you. I know that you had your child, but
Yeah.
what got you interested in taking all the 16 years of energy healing and helping people into helping kids and parenting and getting family units to be whole?
When I had my son, yes, it changes your life, but it was like the glue to everything that I had learnt, every book I'd read, all the training I'd had. It suddenly made real sense. It all pulled it together. And it was this little being in front of me that I learnt so much with. But it's that I came with this absolute desire to make a difference to the world that these children are going into, but also support the parents. When you
Yes.
parent from the heart, um, it goes against many systems around you, and those systems are just a system. They're, but it was having my son. It was having my son, and it just all came together, all of it.
You know, people say that it's true. When you have children, it does change the world. It really does, totally.
Yeah.
And this it is funny because we do not come with a book that says this is how you parent. And the other thing is we fall back on what our parents did. So many people fall back
Yeah.
on what their parents did. And
Yes.
um, you know, that's not bad. There are some traditions and there are some things that are fabulous, but there's also some behaviors that are not fabulous. Talk about, you know, how to break away from those things our parents taught us. You know, the old behaviors and habits, like I would never get away with that, and I used to walk a mile to school or 5 miles and I caught the big, all this stuff that we learned from our parents. How do we distinguish, how do we get ourselves to break away from that?
You listen to the connection between yourself and the child, which comes from your heart to theirs, and that blows everything away. It challenges you. You see your patterns or the things you've picked up, you see them really clearly when you have a child, and you work through your layers so as you can parent differently, but it is your heart that leads the way, and you can see the children work on us if we allow them, and they communicate on a level which is so deep, because when they come out, the vocalization is the screaming, the smiling, but you listen to that heart, and that heart tells you the absolute truth, so you go with that. It is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Don't you find, I have 3 boys, okay?
Yeah.
Now they're older now.
Yes.
You know, they're 18, 15, and 13. But I remember, you know, when they were so small, it really does. When you start really connecting with them, I was very connected. Everybody says, well, what did you do for discipline? I didn't do much. I didn't do much
No.
because when you are connected by the heart, like you say, you don't have that. There is this very deep understanding between you and that child. It is a
Yeah.
trust bond. It forms
It
a
is.
trust bond.
Yeah.
And but the gifts you receive from that are
Yeah.
phenomenal. The gifts, I
Yeah.
mean, to really know your child. Talk about that a little bit, Sally, because that's phenomenal. That is the reward beyond all rewards.
It is. When I became pregnant at my 20-week scan, they found anomalies, and because there were 3, the specialist that I was put in front of was a glass half empty lady, and she even went down the line of whether we should be considering getting rid of the baby.
Yeah.
But because I was put into that like that protective mama mode straight away,
Me too.
it just, the love when he was inside me, the love I felt, the protectiveness, especially when there was specialists around me talking jargon. But I was like, hang on, there's this baby inside me, and this baby is telling me so much more than what you're telling me.
Yeah.
And then when he was born, because of the cautions, he was taken to neonatal unit. So for 4 days, I had to fight to breastfeed him. I was separated from him. But all those things, it's like it blew everything away. And I looked into these eyes, and they were the eyes of an old soul, and they just looked straight back into you. And the depth of it, unconditional love. We talk about it, but when you actually experience it, it changes your life. And I looked around my life afterwards, and so many things changed because that child reminded me of our truth.
Yeah.
It is, you feel like you can climb mountains, you can achieve anything when you're in touch with this unconditional love. And every single moment of the day and the night, he reminded me of that.
Yeah.
And yes, you're dealing with a baby, so you have to do all the day, the changing of the nappies and
Oh
all that.
yeah.
But there is nothing that compares to this divine love that they just show you. And when they're reliant on you, it just draws something out of you, and you keep and respect that connection with your baby and your child, because it is that that will see you through everything and enable you to make the changes in your life that you need to, so as you can support your child in the world that they're going into.
And the changes come easier. I mean, when you look, all my kids are very special, but I remember my second child. He was an old soul. He amazed me, and he was also the worst painful birth I had.
Yeah.
And he made me the sickest, but he was the one who was the strongest. I had a lot of trouble in my pregnancies, but but when he came out, I remember just looking in those eyes and seeing this. I mean, I said, you've been around a long time, kid. And just all the little things he did. I mean, in 2 days old, and he was actually crawling up here, you know, the strength of this little, and he's always been, he could have been the child for a lot of parents who they call the challenge, because he likes to push social norms. But because you do a conscious parenting, that you're totally connected so much that, you know, it's different when they get older. He's 15. Absolutely. You can't parent when they're 15 too much. You guide. No. You totally guide. No. But but because I know he likes to push social norms, we have our own private jokes. We have our own, I always have to say, wrong side. You're pushing on the wrong side. Come back over here. You know, it's not like I have to do heavy kind of, you're grounded for 3 months, or I'm taking away all this and that. And it's different. You don't have that hostile presence in the house.
No. I love, my child is 7, but I love the fact I can have discussions with him. Yeah. And that's amazing. It's so liberating when you see children around you who are, you know, they're just coming from a different place, and people don't quite understand that you can have that depth with somebody. And there is no conversation that's not off limits. He was saying to me the other day that, you know, you don't need phones. And like we were just, then actually that discussion of, they're handy for so many things, like just what we're doing today. Right. But also it's like keeping that balance. As a child, he's seeing everyone on his phones around him. And I said to him, I remember as a child, there were no phones, so he will not have that memory. So we were then discussing this whole thing of where it's useful, where it's not, where I need to learn about putting it down. So there's those, because it's an easy access. But it's really interesting seeing things from his perspective, but talking about it. Yeah, I love the fact, and this has been something that's been going on for a while, and I suspect you've been doing the same with yours. You can have these real interesting conversations. Yes, and it's wonderful for both of you, the child and you. Yeah,
and it does take. I've learned when you're growing and they get older, it does take. Because you're raising a conscious child. You're raising a child who's a thinker on a bigger level. You're raising a child who is totally connected. When you get older, when they want to challenge you a little bit, they're coming into their own. You have to be ready. I always say, Sally, we are not raising mini me's.
No, absolutely.
We're raising souls, you know?
Totally. And that's something, because I recently did a blog on that, but sometimes people can put roles on children, and their only role is to be a child. So I'm aware that because they are so connected and they are so light, that people can make them the light of their own life. And that is where the line gets crossed. Or, you know, if you're not happy around a child, it can lift you. But the need should always be from the child, not from the parent. So if the child needs you, you're there. If you need something from the child, step back and look at yourself. Yes. And then that's the healthy, you're showing them boundaries as well, massively on that one, of what they will and won't take from other people. But it's just to always be clear with that one. I'm a single parent, and you are as well, so I'm always aware of that dynamic also, that you know, just to keep on check with myself. He's the child, Yeah, he deserves, this is his childhood. He deserves that. He does not need to take on a role, any other role than that.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm with my kids. Exactly.
Yeah.
They are supposed
Yeah.
to grow and learn and have self-esteem. They do their chores. We have our chores.
Yeah.
We learn how to,
Yeah.
responsibility and self-esteem.
Yes.
But do I
Yeah.
expect them to fill something in me? No. That's
No.
not their
No.
job. And
No.
and plus, you should never, ever, everybody, do you hear this? You should never, ever think somebody else, even your child, is going to make you whole. That's not
No.
how it works.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to be whole within yourself. Go ahead, Sally.
Absolutely. Our children remind us of the vibration that we should be in. So when they come into our world, they show that unconditional love, but they show that clarity as well. And so they're reminders for us. This is what we work on ourselves. This is who we really are. So every day they give us that lesson.
That's true. Especially when they're little, it reminds us who we are. We are this being of pure joy. We are this being of adventure. We are this being of creating and discovering. We are that. We forget it. And so often we put a squash on the children for being that way. And yet they're just showing us what we should be.
Yeah.
They're doing
And they show
what I'm trying to teach everyone.
Absolutely. But they show us perseverance as well, because a child wants to learn. They will learn how to walk. They will learn how to talk. But also they fall. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts they give us, because there is a media out there that is focusing on perfection. And that's one of the many gifts that children can give us, is that your mistakes are just part of learning. So if you fall on your bottom, you get back up again. It's fantastic, the gifts that they give us every day, just by allowing them to be themselves, be authentic, and us then reclaiming our own authenticity.
I dare everyone to spend a day in your child's eyes. Just to totally if you have children, to get out there and just be in their world with them. It is totally magical. It's like you are opening your eyes to the world again. Is it? And
absolutely.
If you have kids, if you don't, find some. Spend the day looking through their eyes, how they see the plants, how they see even the dirt, how they see the bugs, how they see. Children mirror us, so we have to be completely aware of this. They do. Actually, all people mirror you.
They do. They do.
They do. That's the only way we can see, But Sally, it is so magical, and if we allow it, if we get past all the crap we think we know, and all the stuff we learned from our parents, there is a whole fabulous world, right?
There is. And totally. And when you become a parent, it is your time to follow your own truth. So instead of reading the standard books or listening to the health professionals around you, you go from your heart. This is your time to reclaim your complete authenticity. Do it, because you've got this little being beside you who's showing you exactly what it means. You listen to that child and discard anything that doesn't feel like it's coming from the heart. If it's coming from a system, question it, and just come from your heart.
I have a little example for you. My youngest didn't like school. He's very intelligent. He doesn't like school. Okay, simple as that. And we've had a horrible time in school. And I remember in 5th grade, I met with all the teachers, and I said, you've got to light the fire on him. Just take a little thing he's interested in. Well, I was talking to dead wood. All right. They just looked at me like, are you out of your mind, lady? And then one time the principal said, maybe we should put him on that Ritalin stuff. And I and I looked at him and I said, my kid doesn't have ADD. I said, you just don't know how to teach him.
Exactly. And I question the amount of.
You have to say
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And question the system that your child is in as well.
Yeah.
My son goes to an independent school and it's Montessori inspired, but not,
That's what
you
I
know, pure
want to do.
Montessori.
I want
Yeah, and he's 7. He doesn't know what grade he is. The teachers do, but they don't test him the same way. So the competitiveness is not there.
yeah, I know.
They are allowed to explore a subject for the length of time that it takes. So instead of it being purely an hour, 2 hours, it can go on. They
Right.
listen to the children. The children are all individuals. There's flexible schooling. So they come in maybe 1 day a week, 2 day a week, and then they build up themselves. I
Right.
homeschooled for a year with my son initially. Then I took him to that school and he loved it, and he gradually built up his time there. And he went full time with his own choice. Children
Finding me.
want to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Children love learning. I think the
Yeah,
educational
they do.
system just needs to remember that children love to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do
This school
adults.
also, yeah,
We love to
exactly
learn
do.
if we can. I mean,
Yeah,
it's our soul. Our soul wants to
yeah,
create and grow. That's all it does. So
absolutely.
that's learning. That's all we really want to do with
Yeah,
compassion
and
and
we
love.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we enjoy it.
we do.
So I work and I volunteer at the school, so I see lots of children coming through, and I hear the stories, because there's also a rehabilitation centre attached to it for children traumatised by the schooling system. It's
Right.
the only one in the UK with a team that's there. So I see that actually end where they're suicidal, and they have tutors that go into the home because the child won't go out of their room, and
Oh,
then they gradually
yeah.
bring them into the
Mm.
school. But the turnaround in a child is remarkable if they know that they're safe, they're respected, and they're heard.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
it's like a mini world for me, and that I'm seeing how the schooling system can be so different, how dynamic the children are. The children ask questions. Their thirst for knowledge is evident with everything. And when people come in to give a talk or something at the school, they're always amazed at how many questions the children will ask,
That's good.
because they're allowed to be switched on. You see who they are. They are individuals there, and it does my heart good every time. And this is part of my passion. I know things can be different. I see it every single day. This school was set up by a single mother years ago. So yes, I've got access to it here. We can all make changes and we can all question, and we do not have to believe that the system it needs adjusting. It does need
A lot
adjusting.
of systems
And
need adjusting.
absolutely, yeah,
How do people, all right, so you help parents to get this
yes,
connection with their
yeah, and
kids,
to remind them,
to
yeah,
open their eyes, to get them to open
yes.
their eyes. Well, how do people find you?
Okay, I have got a website, so that's
Oh,
always very
yay.
helpful.
Okay. That's a good thing.
So wherever you are in the world, you've got no excuse, you can find me. It's www.sallysaint.co.uk. On there, on my
Okay.
contact,
So
yeah, it's yeah,
.com.uk, not slash, but dot.
yeah, .co.uk is the
Okay.
end, because it's the UK.
Perfect.
On there, you'll find my conscious parenting. You'll find the different things that I do. So you've got access to me on there. There's the link to my Facebook page and Instagram as well. So
Yeah.
you can find, and you can email me. My email address is on there. So please contact me.
Yeah.
I believe very strongly that we need to be changing the vibration of the world for our children to step into. And the only way we do that is we're the bridge between as
We
parents.
are.
So we really make a strong bridge for our children to step on and walk out into the world with confidence and with pride, and their authentic self. So I am here to help. I'm here to support. I'm here to give information. So please do contact me. It's what I'm meant to be doing.
Oh, fantastic. Guys, Sally is a beautiful soul too. And
Okay.
she just sees a lot of good. So if you're, especially when you have kids and parenting, like I said, doesn't come with a book. And it's up
No,
to
it doesn't.
us. And because it's supposed to be the most natural thing in the world. but you have to
Yeah.
open yourself to that natural. If you're not used to being that and you're closed off in some way, it affects the kids. It affects the
It
kids.
does.
Your
It
blocks
does.
affect the kids. The best thing you can do is to start to find your own happiness, your contentment, your peace.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
believe it or not, then your kids will get that same thing. That connection will be unbreakable. Sally, it has been so cool for you to be here. I have enjoyed this immensely. So, guys,
Thank you so much.
comment below. Mwah, to you too. Comment below. Ask Sally questions, okay? I know it's early. Hello, Carl Lane and Lisa. Thank you for the hearts. Michelle Chansey, thank you for being here, you guys. Comment below and just let Sally know we appreciate her, we love her, and just if you have any parenting, things that you're going through, this is the time. And
Absolutely.
Savvy Sisterhood is a place to bring it up. And then
Yes.
Sally can take you to wherever and help you. But this is the place. That's why I bring these interviews on. All right, guys, make it a fabulous day. And I'm not kidding. I'm only half kidding when I say if you don't have kids, find a kid. Get into that kid's world and start.
Yeah.
It will open a whole different world. The wonder, the place where God said, see through the eyes of children. It's that wonder, folks. It's the wonder. Yeah. All right.
Many blessings.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Namaste. Bye. Oh.